What's up, people? We are back with more of Katawa Shoujo. We are currently very early on in the Hanako route, so I'm just really curious as to what's gonna happen next, so let us immediately continue. Chirping birds. Normally, this would be a good time to reflect upon the beauty of nature. But it is 6 a.m. Way too early for that, obviously. You don't reflect on the beauty of nature until like 10 a.m. Covering my head with the pillow, I slam my face into the mattress, hoping that the impact will send me instantly back to sleep. Futile. I toss and turn, but sleep simply won't return to me. Alright, nature, you've won. See? I'm getting up now. The lack of sleep weighs my mind down, and there's only one remedy for this: a nice hearty breakfast. It would be nice to be the first person here, to be the first person to dig into a piping hot pile of food, to sit wherever I desire. It would have been nice, but even my exceptionally early start has put me behind the most diligent students. I guess there are quite a few people that have early starts here, for one reason or another. A group of students in sports clothes huddled around one table, eagerly discussing game plans in between inhaling great gulps of food. Scattered around the hall are a number of blurry-eyed students, probably suffering from the same ailment as myself. Noisy birds, dang the noisy birds, they're the worst ailment of all. And of course, there are the people that actually enjoy getting up this early, the ones with their bags stuffed with textbooks and completed homework, there's probably only 2 students like that. It's hard not to despise people like that, even more so when you're tired yourself. Picking out a familiar face from the thin crowd, I head towards the nearest table. Lily sits alone, delicately feeling her way around a small plate of eggs with her fork. It's almost a shame to interrupt her and her clockwork movements. I wonder, is this how a blind person zones out? Simply moving in a predetermined patterns learned over the years, just like how a sighted person would eat while reading a newspaper. Good morning, Lily. I didn't expect you to be here this early. Oh, Hisao, you startled me. I didn't know you took breakfast this early. I don't. This is an exception to the rule. I greatly prefer to be late to school than early to breakfast. That's my motto. Lily gives a small sigh at my admitted tardiness as I begin eating my food. It doesn't take long for her to lapse back into her previous mindset or mindless nibbling. Each short motion lacks energy. I suppose this is similar to letting your eyes wander while performing any ordinary chore, but after a few repetitions of the find food/eat food cycle, Lily puts down her fork and dabs her lips with a napkin. Hisao, do you mind if I ask you a question? Oh no, what is this gonna be? Oh, I have a feeling this is gonna be one of those questions, where is Lily's motherly nature gonna start coming up, I feel like this is one of those questions where the parents are starting to ask the guy who's interested in their daughter, like, alright, Hisao, what are your intentions with my daughter, huh? What are you gonna do with her? What are your intentions? Are you the hit it and quit it kind of guy? Or are you planning to stick with her long term? Damn. All I want is a little food and about 4 hours of sleep. And nobody says, can I ask you a question? For a simple question. Sure. Do you think of Hanako as a friend? Huh? This seems like a leading question. Yeah, there's much more behind this, but I can understand it from Lily's point of view as well, right? Because I feel like, especially because Hanako hasn't really bonded with anyone else other than Lily here, I think, and the fact that Hisao and Hanako are sort of a little bit bonding right now, I just feel like Lily is just being a little bit cautious with it, because she wants, like, even if right now it's only just friendship, not right, between Hanako and Hisao, but if it turns into something more than that in a relationship, then obviously, Hanako is going to be spending more time with Hisao instead of Lily. So I feel like it's almost like Lily wants to make sure that she hands Hanako over to a person that she can trust just because of how fragile Hanako is, right? So I feel like she wants to hand her over to someone that she knows is capable of handling Hanako and being delicate with her and just, the right guy, the right person almost, I guess so. Why do you ask? No real reason. I do have another question though. Why is it that you think of her as a friend? This is well above my level. What is she expecting from me? I'm not really sure. I guess it's because she's a little different in the way she deals with people. Since I've known her, she hasn't really connected with anyone. She doesn't seem interested in other people, and I think people are a little scared off by her appearance. Really? I thought that kind of thing was, well, discouraged here. Discriminating and such. Oh no, I feel, I'm pretty sure if you were to just put 100 people that had the same illness or whatever, or had the same thing, or are very, very similar to each other, if not exactly similar, those people would still find reasons to dislike or hate each other or discriminate against each other. I just feel like it's just a part of human nature in a sense as well, and that's actually the reason. I hate to bring up this person, but I think that's part of the reason why Donald Trump is so popular as he is right now, during the elections. It's just that because people, I feel like, sort of discriminating in a sense, is part of human nature, but some people are just very discreet about it, are more private about it, they're not really upfront about it, aren't really out loud about it. But that's what Donald Trump kind of speaks for the people, right? He really speaks to that part of people that other people are really scared to say out loud, but he really speaks to that fear and almost irrational fear in a sense of, well, to people, and that's sort of why people are like, oh yeah, he's right, he's saying what the people are afraid of saying. But yeah, I feel like people, that's just part of human nature, and some people are just really very much like that. Some people are not so much discriminatory and such, but I feel like you just cannot get rid of it regardless, even if in what is considered a safe space like this, like Yamaku, you can't get rid of it entirely. It will still be there to some extent, even if it might be less of an occurrence here, but it's still going to occur here. If I were to put it one way, she furrows her brow in thought, a move which makes me slightly anxious as to what she's plucking from her mind. I'd say that you're a little naive. Naive? I'd be insulted if not for the slightly cynical grin on her face. I see. While Yamaku has a stronger sense of community compared to other schools, it's far from being free of conflicts. Rules cannot remove human nature after all, only suppress it exactly. That's something I've noticed actually. Just little things, like how certain people and cliques avoid each other in the hallways. It's no different than my old school, really. Even Lini and Shizune could be considered bitter rivals, even though they both seem like fairly accepting people. Well, at least the Misha-tinted Shizune does. Who knows what actually goes on with her fingers and behind her glasses? Well, we'll find out in the next route for sure. I guess you're right, but when I first came here, everything was a bit of a shock. I kept on making mistakes, or at least thinking I was making mistakes. Like when we first met, I said, "I see," to you. I didn't know if that was considered rude or anything, so I tried to just put it in the back of my mind, treating people any differently, and that kind of thing. So I didn't. I told myself that Hanako and you and everyone else was just normal, and tried to ignore the obvious. I feel that as well, even though the students here at Yamaku, they are special and some of them do require special needs and stuff, I feel like they don't want to be treated differently though. They just want to be treated like everyone else in a sense, That's why you feel like Lily, she doesn't apologize for things that she can't do because of her illness. At least that's what she did in her route, right? And Lily also, she doesn't mind when people say like stuff like "I see" or "Would you look at that?" You know, little faux pas or mistakes in words like that. I feel like she doesn't really mind it that much because she has just accepted her illness, right? And I feel like she wants other people to be comfortable around her with it as well, and not feel people that they constantly need to be, tiptoeing around these issues or around these certain words just to avoid possibly saying the wrong thing or stuff like that. I talked to Hanako as if she were any other person, and so we became friends. But that's what I feel. See, that's what I mean. Hisao treated Hanako as if she were any other person, but I feel like so many people are like not necessarily put off, but just taken aback by how Hanako looks and because of her scars, that they don't treat her like any other person because of it. And that's why both Hanako feels like other people don't like her that much or something, and that's why perhaps she feels scared, and it's probably also due to her trauma that she has trouble just approaching people in general, and that's why people don't approach her as well, I feel. So you just need to get over that sort of blockade that you put in your mind, like, whoa, okay, this person may look different, but it's still a human being. It should still be treated as such, At least, that's how I think it happened. But I feel guilty just from saying something like that aloud, as if I took extra effort to think of Hanako, or you, or anyone here as normal people. I don't think that's right. Hisao, I think you are naive, but I also think that you are a good person. It is perhaps one of your better traits. Wow, she already thinks that here. I suppose I can take that as a compliment? Tell me, are you free tonight? Are you asking me out, Lily? Is that what you're doing? If you don't count homework, then I'm as free as the breeze. In that case, would you care to join myself and Hanako for tea? Oh, Lily the matchmaker, she's gonna set us up with Hanako. I don't really have that much money at the moment, so going out isn't really... Oh, I didn't mean going out. Just here, this evening. You can access the classrooms in the evening here? No, that's not what I meant. Hanako and I often use my room for tea parties together. Please feel free to drop by after dusk. Sure, I see no problem with that. What's your room number? 225, room 25 on the second floor. Okay, sure. Well then, I had best be off. I have class representative duties to attend to after all. Ooh, a tea date. Until this evening, Hisao. Yeah. Catch you later. Ah, smooth. Hisao actually paid. You said catch you later instead of see you later. Hang on. Was I just invited to a girl's room after hours? Is that even allowed? Oh, it's gonna be. It has to be. We're not gonna let that stop us. There is the curfew here, but I've never heard any rules about visitors in the dorm rooms. Even still, this is enough to get my sleep-deprived brain jump-started. Add that to a lukewarm breakfast, and you have one hell of a pick-me-up. I grudgingly go to class, still a little excited at the prospect of breaking the rules. I feel a little like a kid planning to sneak out of his window at night. Well, maybe that's going a little too far, but when you compare an invitation to a party to 6 or so hours of lectures, I know which one wins. Misha and Shizune do little to relieve my boredom either. For once, they seem determined to actually complete Muto's assignments. Nevertheless, the day eventually winds to a close. I hurry back to my room to wash up and comb my hair. Oh yeah, gotta look slick, gotta look nice. Thankfully, I don't run into Kenji. Before long, I am leaving the boys' dorm. Here we are. I nervously rap on the door marked 225, checking my watch once again. "Is that you, Hisao? The door is open. You can come in." Lily's voice lilts through the door and soothes my nerves. This is the first time I've been invited to a girl's room after dark. Even though I know there is no ulterior motive behind this invitation, it doesn't stop my mind running wild with possibilities. Typical guys, you know. One guy, two girls, in a dorm room, with a tea set. Luckily there are no cups here. When I put it like that, it sounds a little dodgy. Giving a small sigh to steady myself, I gingerly put my hand on the handle and open the door, craning my head to see inside. Oh, tea date. Oh yeah. Door opens completely, and I catch my first glimpse of Lily's room. Her furniture looks almost antique, but the bare walls and flat surfaces are barely decorated at all. In the center of the room sits a low table where I see a small tea set at rest. It seems that everything in this room has its place, possibly expecting or accepting the several piles of books stacked up against the wall. My sense of vision isn't the only one to be stimulated. The faint smell of something can be picked up in the air. Nail polish, perfume, makeup. It's hard to describe it in any other way than girly. My eyes finish their quick sweep over the room before returning their position onto the girls. Oh, hello, Lily. Lily sits next to the small table, wearing very dark blue pajamas. Dark blue pajamas with shorts that show off plenty of her alluring pale legs. Keep it in your pants, Hisao. We're not here for Lily. Opposite her, Hanako sits adorned in a conservative light pink gown. Her hands are firmly fixed between her legs, her shoulders forward, and her head down, as if she is trying to hide herself in it. It would be easy for her to do. It looks like about 2 sizes too big for her. Waves of flannel flow from her frame, making her look like a child playing dress-up in her parents' clothes. She looks up to confirm my identity, and the beginnings of a thin smile creep across her face, before vanishing so fast that I can't be sure they ever were there before. There's no point in you standing in the doorway, Hisao. How does she know, huh? Obviously she would have heard us walk. I take a step into the room, closing the door behind me. My, I'm afraid this really is a small room for the 3 of us. Would you like to take a seat? I slowly walk to the table and sit down, trying my hardest not to disturb anything along the way. I also can't help but steal a quick glance into Lily's top as I sit. Oh, what? To be robbed of sight would be a most terrible fate. Well now, how about some tea? Hanako, could you please pour? Sure. Sao, would you like... Oh my god, it seems like Hanako is even more nervous than before, and probably because, you know, I don't know if like maybe Hanako does. I mean, it's still very early on, right? But I feel like she definitely feels like there is some sort of connection between her and Hisao, and maybe Hanako or Lily even told her about like the previous conversation that Lily and Hisao had during the morning. And now it feels like Hanako is really, really nervous, and even more like acting very shy and stuff. But not shy in the sense that she doesn't want to talk, but just shy in that it's hard for her to get out the words that she wants to say. I would love some tea. Do you need a hand? No, I'm fine. Thank you. Lily finds it difficult to resist a smile at her companion's nervousness. Something I can't really blame her for. Been a tiring day? Yeah. I relax at my place, opposite of the cabinet. To my left, is the blue-clad Lily, and to my right sits the pink Hanako. The tea set on the table looks cute, as well as practical, painted red with a floral motif. It looks odd when contrasted with Lily's plain but generally sophisticated looking furniture, which leads me to think that Hanako might have picked it out. There's a slight ting when Hanako accidentally clips the teapot on a cup as she is pouring. Ding! She breathes in sharply. She must be really nervous, as it's not the kind of thing anyone would worry about. Hanako quivers at her mistake. It's okay, Hanako. There's no need to be nervous. Oh my god, it actually, you know what this feels like? Like we are actually on a date with Hanako and Lily is like the chaperone. Hanako seems to find confidence in Lily's reassuringly soft-spoken words and deftly pours the next 2 cups. Here you are, Hisao. Lily. Hanako carefully places a cup and saucer in front of Lily and myself. I can get used to service like this. Oh yeah, definite waifu material. Thank you, Hanako. Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Lily searches for her cup, and upon finding it, sips delicately. I do the same. This tea tastes somewhat better than the tea we usually have at school. This is nice. It's so different from any tea I had before. Looks like you picked the right one, Hanako. You've done well, even if it was a bold move. Hanako's smile returns, redoubled. Even with her blighted face, her shy smile couldn't be called anything but cute. I'm glad you like it. Hanako, finally beginning to relax, sips from her cup. Something about this makes me think about Lily's question at breakfast, definitely. Why am I friends with Hanako? Lily seems genuinely concerned for Hanako's well-being, but it's not like I can do anything to help her. As far as I can tell, her scars don't hold her back physically, and everyone I've met so far seems to have overcome their disabilities to some extent. I don't have any ulterior motives to hang out with Hanako. We just share similar interests. Isn't that enough? So, Hisao, are you enjoying yourself? Lily's words break me out of my reverie, and I take a second to consider where I am. I'm in a room with 2 girls in their bedclothes. This is something to be enjoyed. Ah yeah, this is the life. This is the good thug life. Yeah, it's relaxing. Almost like I'm not in the school anymore. Do you do this often? Quite often, but not as often as we take tea in the school building. Considering I do that nearly every day, that's not a big surprise. As I move to take another sip from my teacup, I find it sadly empty. That was delicious. Thank you, Hanako. Lily? I actually want I can join the tea party here because I have some delicious mint tea. Oh yeah, thank you, Hanako. So delicious. You're welcome. Yes, you're most welcome, Hisao. It's nice to have a third person here. Well, anytime you need someone to fill that position, I'm always available. Always, yeah, like literally, we have no one else here at school. One must be sure to get one's point across in these circumstances. Lily lets loose a yawn, which she unsuccessfully hides with her hand. Pardon me, I think I'm a little tired. I think we're all a little tired. Sleepover time! My. How astute are we tonight, Hanako? We really should head to bed. We all have class tomorrow. Yeah, I should go. Thank you for your presence, Hisao. Thanks. You'll come again? Not even a whole army could stop me. I'm impressed by your determination, Hisao. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna let anyone stop me from getting with Hanako. Not even you, Lily. Either way, you're right. We'd best get going. I stand up and make for the door. Hanako gingerly stands up behind me. I stop and face her. Are you coming with me? Hanako instantly blossoms into full blush. No, I'm not. This room isn't. It's okay. I was only joking. Oh, okay. Good night. Good night, Hanako. Good night, Hisao. Night, all. And with that, our tea party finishes. Hanako's reaction. I'm still not sure what it is that Lily wants me to do for Hanako, but I don't want to let her down. I wait until the door has closed behind us before turning to Hanako. Hey, Hanako. You know, you don't have to be nervous around me or anything. I mean, we're friends, right? Right. We're friends. If you ever want to hang out or anything, just let me know. We still need to have that chess rematch, remember? She probably brushed up her skills to the point of professionalism. I don't think we're actually gonna win next match. Hell no. Sure. But I don't think you'll win. Oh, see? Hanako, she's so confident. She's like, yeah, hell no. I finished the book. I read it thrice already, 3 times, so I'm sorry, Hisao. You don't stand a chance. It wouldn't be any fun if it was easy. Hanako seems to give a muted laugh, but she could just as easily been exhaling. Good night, Hisao. And with that, Hanako quickly retreats into her room, located next to Lily's. I start to walk back to my dorm, but the simple act of walking seems to drain me of my energy. I barely make it to my room before I am hit by a wave of exhaustion. I kick off my shoes, fall into bed, and fall asleep by the time my head hits the pillow.